When it comes to the South Carolina House of Representatives, District 104's got the edge. Find out what it's all about coming up next on Carolina People.
Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at Advanced Audiology and Hearing Aid Center off of Highway 17 and 6th Avenue, across from the main post office in North Myrtle Beach. We're focused on public service. And we're visiting with the Honorable Tracy Edge of District 104 of the South Carolina State House of Representatives. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Hey, I feel a little strange calling you honorable. I mean, obviously, honorable's a perfect one, but can you go by?
I feel strange hearing it, so Tracy's fine with me.
Is Tracy okay?
That's
good.
Perfect.
The Honorable Tracy Edge. Very
Every now and then I
exciting.
get a mister. I'm like, well, who's that?
Where'd he go? Where is he? Where is he? Love to get you in, and thanks for coming in. Of
Thank
course,
you. Glad to be here.
This is home to you.
Sure is. Sure is. I live about a mile from here, so it's a hop, skip, and a jump away.
Right, right. I hope you had a big Labor Day.
Sure did. Enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
Summer is almost over, but the weather hasn't changed yet.
No, it hadn't. What about this weather? Of course, it was a real hot spell over the last month, but
Sure have. Ready for cool weather.
Turn for the better. What did that post office across the street? Real easy to find. Advanced Audiology.
Sure is. Right across the street.
Are you originally from the area, Tracy?
Yeah, sure am. I've lived exactly a mile from here all my life, and my father's family grew up just a little bit further away, about a mile and a half from here. So they've been here in North Myrtle Beach, or what it was at that time, since the 1930s.
Is that a family homestead? You said earlier you're about a mile from here now, and you grew up about a mile from here.
I grew up in the house. I'm living in the house that I grew up in.
Is that right?
Yeah, I got it from my parents and remodeled it, and it's kind of neat.
Are your folks still living?
My father died about 5 years ago, but my mother's still here and lives not far away. In fact, my whole family, if you were to look at a map, lives within a mile of here, but we're all within a half a mile of each other.
Is that right? You've got brothers and sisters?
Sure do. 2 brothers and 1 sister.
Son of a gun. And they're all within that same mile radius, more or less.
Yeah, kind of crazy at times.
Yeah, that is. You're all bumping into each other, I guess.
All the time.
On a regular basis.
We all know what each other is doing.
Both good and bad.
Absolutely.
And you're able to get away at least for half of the year for a couple of days a week, so that stays out of the home edge radar, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. It's enjoyable. I have fun doing it.
Had you always thought about public service, Tracy? Is that something that had been high on the radar early on?
You know, I don't know if I didn't set out to do it. It just kind of happened, but it's somewhat natural that it did. My father was the first mayor of North Myrtle Beach.
Is that right?
And before North Myrtle Beach was formed in 1968, there were 4 separate towns here: Windy Hill, Crescent Beach, Ocean Drive, and Cherry Grove. And he was a mayor of Crescent Beach prior to that. So I kind of grew up in it. And then my brother has been the county coroner for nearly 20 years. And
is that right?
Was elected to county council several years before that. So it's always been around me. Mm-hmm. But opportunity just knocked one day, and decided to run for city council. And then 2 years later, State House seat opened up, and it was just merely being at the right place at the right time.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's a big, marked difference, though, running just for not taking anything away from North Myrtle Beach City Council, but running for City Council versus running for a statewide position.
It was a lot different. The day after I filed, I woke up and said, what have I done? Where am I going to get $30,000 to run with? Of course, now it's more like $120,000 to $150,000.
So is that right?
It's a great big difference.
It's changed that much in 12 years?
Sure have.
Wow. Why?
You know, the first time I ran, we did a lot of direct mail.
Right.
That was the main mode of advertising, and within 4 years, if you didn't do television, you were behind. So that added a great expense on top of it. And now television is the main mode of just about all campaign advertising. Mm-hmm. Even on the local city council scene, those guys are doing television, cable, and
sure.
If you don't do it, you're out of luck. You're left behind.
That can often be so difficult where you're serving such TV stations, serving, as you know, this station of big chunk of viewers in the PD, a lot
Sure.
in southeastern North Carolina, BTW PD, the same thing. Oftentimes a heck of a lot more folks than you need to reach, for instance, for city council. For a state house, you don't know where those, the dollars will flow from, but also, I guess, where the voters.
Right. And therefore you have to cover a lot of different areas, a lot of different shows, and different networks. So you wind up spending a lot more money than you originally think about.
That's fascinating. Of course, a lot of dollars will be flowing into the state in the near term with the presidential big push for January 10th. Very excited the Republican Party is committed to Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, I am too. And if the Democrats have their debate here too, of course I'm a Republican, but I think it's great for the area to have both of them if possible.
I know Congressman Cliver and the Congressional Black Caucus is working hard on that. I guess they haven't yet set a date. But
they haven't yet. I don't think they know exactly what day they're going to vote either.
Right. Is that right?
Still a little bit undecided.
But that could be. Even just having won, the opportunity to have the Republican Party here is a big deal.
Yeah, very much. I mean, I saw what happened in 2000 and 2004 with the amount of media attention that the state got. Now just imagine all that focusing on our area. I think it's going to be a tremendous opportunity for us.
In the State House, you run for, Dick Elliott was with us yesterday and the day before. You talked about, at one time, I think he talked about Ocean Drive Beach. He had served on the council there at one time prior to being in the House, and then now, was he in your seat, the District 104? Was that the seat that he
years ago, yes. He served in it, I think, from about 82 to 92, and then Harold Worley ran after Dick, and then Harold got out in 96, and I decided to run.
So he had 2 terms, and you have had 5 now? You're running your 6th?
Working on 6, number 6 now.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's fabulous.
I know. Time goes by real fast.
You have to run every 2 years, and I think Dick had said yesterday he runs every 4 years.
Running every 2 years is difficult.
Yeah.
You never stop campaigning. If you're elected in November, 13 months later, somebody's announcing they're going to run against you. So there's really no time to stop. But that's good and bad. The bad part is you have to constantly raise money all the time, or at least worry about it. But the good thing is that knowing you have to run so often, you stay in touch with your people, and you keep your ear tuned into what's going on and what you need to do.
Good.
So it does keep you on your toes.
Absolutely. Enjoyed meeting your bride recently. She seems like a great stalwart there, helping you out on the trail on a regular basis. It was great hearing her talk about education and the importance of education for you and your entire family, and how that's impacted. When she was talking about it, there was an educational issue of a sort that someone had attacked you for not being supportive of education, and she highlighted all the reasons why.
Absolutely. She's, in fact, been at school every day since school started.
Is that right? That's great.
Big-time volunteer.
You all have children in the local school system?
Yeah, we do. Ages 9 and 11.
Is that right? 9 and 11.
They grow too fast.
Yeah, very definitely, very definitely. You know, when you think about major issues for you, Tracy, are there any that really stand out, or things that our viewers would be interested in, of what you've been real active with?
Absolutely. We're in a unique area as far as South Carolina goes. We're not a heavy manufacturing area, so our main economy is tourism. And when you look at our needs, they are a little bit unique to other parts of South Carolina, but we've had to spend a lot of time on highway construction, beach renourishment, dollars to promote the entire Horry County, Myrtle Beach, North Myrtle Beach area. So it's been a challenge to make the rest of the state to stand up and recognize that the needs we have here are real, but if our needs are met, that we are an economic boon to the rest of the state as well. And our message, I think, is getting through very well to other people.
We've seen, heard, thinking about earlier this week, thinking about the Northeastern Strategic Alliance and working in tandem with some of those folks. Have the folks in that 10-county area been more receptive to hearing the need to support OE in Georgetown and much of what that economic boon is?
Oh, yeah. The great thing about NISA, we decided that we needed to team up to compete with the Greenvilles and the Charlestons, because here in Horry County we don't have the population base, and we don't have the number of representatives and senators in order to compete with the other areas. But by teaming up with the other PD counties, we're able to form a healthy coalition where we can help each other and bring much needed attention and focus to our issues. And with I-73, for instance, we've been real successful at doing that.
Yes, yes. You're feeling good about I-73.
Oh, yeah, very much. It's a top priority for our state, for the Department of Transportation. Our congressional delegation has been wonderful to work with, and they're doing a lot to help move I-73 up in the national focus.
Right, right.
And it's desperate. It's desperately needed, and we have to have it.
Right.
Not only for tourism, but for evacuation and just overall transportation within South Carolina.
Yeah, of course, it's not just the Carolinas. You said that real need to get it on the national screen so that the other, how many states, maybe 10 states total or so?
6, I believe.
Is that right?
Yeah.
All the way to St. Saul?
St. Sue Marie, Michigan.
Yeah, I'll never get that right. That's right. Thank you for getting it out
Right
early on a
at the top of
Thursday
Michigan.
morning. Yeah, right at the top of Michigan. To be able to get it from there down here or from here up there is there's quite a bit that has to happen.
Yeah, there is. Some states have a high priority placed on 73. Others haven't had quite as much. But the importance really for us is to connect it through North Carolina so it will connect with other interstate networks. You know, is it important that we connect all the way to Detroit or St. Sue Marie? Perhaps not, but if we can connect up into interstates that travel through the Midwest, I think it'll be a great thing for our area.
Oh, yeah. Look what it's done for the PD, having 20 and 95
Absolutely.
split right through there. It's such a traumatic boon for those areas.
Absolutely, and it's a shame we haven't had that, but we're going to get it.
Right. Listen to that. It's going to happen, Tracy.
It's going to happen.
Good. Brad Dean's going to be with us week after next, and exciting.
I'm sure he'll talk about it, too.
He's been a tremendous proponent, along with Alan Clemens and so many others, for the push for I-73.
Yeah.
It is very exciting. You know, when you think back, as you said, the differences there in running for office the first time back in was it 94 when you ran for North Myrtle Beach City Council, and obviously running now, you know, that constant, as you said, it enables you to really keep your fingers on the pulse, but also staying really in tune with your constituency there.
Right.
What is the District 104, the district in which you serve? Where is that? What does that actually start and end?
Well, it goes to the state line with North Carolina and runs toward the town of Loris. It doesn't quite get there, but it covers areas in the county, Red Bluff, Sweet Home, Longs, and it comes back in around Barefoot Resort, close to Briarcliff.
Okay, great.
So I run, I guess, approximately about 10 or 11 miles of the coast, and inward, or I guess landward, you would say, 10 or 11 miles as well. It's kind of a small, unique district, square box, but it's a growing area. It's probably the second fastest growing house district in the state now.
Is that right? How many districts are in the state?
124.
Is that right? Okay, so there's 124 House districts, and I think Dick talked about 46 state senators, so a total of 170 legislators.
Yeah, to give you a great statistic or analogy, when we did reapportionment after the 2000 census, my district was the third fastest growing in the state, and District 106 in the Surfside area was the second.
Is that right? Do you remember the first?
The first was in Columbia, actually.
Is that right?
Or a part of Columbia. But, but it showed the great growth that we have in Horry County. And we're still continuing to grow very quickly.
Oh, yeah. Reapportionment is a big deal. That's something that, of course, the computer-generated maps have impacted things so dramatically. But when you are changing districts, and that can be pretty harrowing experience every 10 years or whenever you all do that.
Sure is. Now, the great thing the last time is that we added a House seat.
Right.
And that helps increase our clout in Columbia as well. And I think that'll happen again in 2010.
Great.
So the more we grow, the greater representation that we do get.
Absolutely.